So before I go grocery shopping, I always either make a meal or eat a snack because the hungrier I am, the more stuff I'm likely to buy and spend a bunch of money. So this day I made like a little banana ice cream situation. And while I was planning, I went and had that. Look how that looks, y'all. Ooh. I added some of my homemade granola on top and some chia seeds, just so I'm not just eating fruit, basically. We need this to be filling, okay? So while I eat, I start to make my list. I always make a list whenever I grocery shop. I do it by meal, by store sometimes. Really depends on how I'm feeling, but I want to make sure that I got everything down. I usually go to Kroger for my like specialty items. They have more of a plant-based section versus Aldi. Right here I'm grabbing some stuff on sale. Main components of my meal that I made sure to write down on my list. You already know the vibes. This is what I got from Aldi. Like I said, it's super basic. I just got some fruit. I always get my avocados from here, and I always get my canned goods from here because it's usually cheaper. All recipes and measurements will be in the description box below. But for my first meal, I made like a little spin-off of this wrap from this vegan place in Atlanta called Tassili's. So right now I'm making the dressing. It's just nutritional yeast, garlic, some liquid aminos. Yep. Some liquid aminos, olive oil, and a little bit of seasoning.
No, don't be looking at me sideways. You can get your friends, it's a party. All these girls here indie, happy rest still indie. All I need is good energy. I don't know too many. Looking like a 3-day weekend. Hit it on me, then can't believe it.
After the dressing, I brought some coconut milk to a boil and added some couscous and just cooked that by the directions on the box because instructions are there for a reason, okay? Then I got some kale from our local garden and just de-stemmed that and cut it into bite-sized chunks because we are not a rabbit. We don't want baby nibbles, but also you don't want to be trying to eat like the whole leaf. Do pieces that you're comfortable with, you know? Then I added some red onions. I kind of went OD on the red onions. Like, if I had a date, I wouldn't eat this in front of them, okay? Sun-dried tomatoes finish out the salad. Then we go into another topping. I just added a can of drained corn to a container and then added the rest of the coconut milk that I didn't use for the couscous to that. I ended up pouring some out, but make it as juicy as you want to, okay? Okay. This is what the coconut couscous looked like after it came out. And here is the salad that I'm now adding the dressing to. I only did like 2 tablespoons, I think. And then, ooh, massage. Get your masseuse on. I was so happy I meal prepped, y'all, because I think I was up super early this morning. I was like, yo, lunch is already made, basically. I just show how I stack it up. Of course, I didn't record me rolling it up because that'll be too much like right. But first I add a base of the kale salad. This is also really good if you spread out mayonnaise on the spinach wrap ahead of time, but I ain't do that this go around. So I did the kale salad, the couscous, the corn, some avocado, and some Roma tomatoes.
Looking like, look like art, look like art, look like art, look like art, look like art. For meal 2, I'm doing lasagna roll-up. So I started off with some Brown's Beyond Hot Italian sausages and added like, I don't even know, like 5 cloves of garlic and 2 cans of crushed tomatoes. We're making a homemade marinara sauce. Homemade. Tomato sauce. Marinara. Add some salt and some pepper. We done. But no, for real, I just added some salt and some pepper, and then I let that simmer while I was getting the rest of the ingredients together. Oh, and some sugar. Sideways. You can get your friends, it's a party. All these girls here indie, happy rest still indie.
At my workstation, I have some softened vegan cream cheese, and I'm adding some frozen spinach. Okay, in hindsight, you should chop your spinach up first.
But then I add some mozzarella shreds, some sage, some nutritional yeast, some salt, and some pepper. I think that's a little dried oregano too. You never know with me, okay? Just make it taste Italian. Make it taste Italian. But you want to mix that up until everything is well combined, and then I usually do about 2 tablespoons for each noodle. Just dab it on there and spread it out, and get your rolling skills right, and put it into a pan that has the marinara sauce at the bottom. You want to make sure you do it sealed down so that it doesn't just unravel. After I have rolled all of them, I spooned more sauce on top, added some mozzarella, and then popped that in the oven. Low key just so the cheese come out, because this is really already cooked.
Look like art, look like art, looking like. Then she met me at the college. Her friends play my songs and they been following me. Yeah, I don't like to do that much explaining and talking. Just know she had coffee with me. Yeah.
I feel like more often than not, I have at least one struggle meal in my videos. This is that struggle meal. I'm starting out with a block of dried firm tofu, but I really should have got it more firm. Then I'm making a sauce with liquid aminos, some maple syrup, a little water, onion powder, ginger, liquid smoke. I was trying to make like smoked tofu, little spam situation going on. I don't know if I will actually call it that, but there is an attempt made. Okay. So this is where the situation started. I poured the marinade over the tofu, but tofu was a little soft. So I'm putting it in the pan, flip it over. Y'all see how soft it is, right? You could also bake this. That might have been better. It's starting to break apart. I said, oh Lord. I keep flipping it, Mind over matter sometimes. I saw it, but I didn't mind, so it didn't matter. Amen.
Blessings coming my way. Wake up every morning like it's Friday. No, don't be looking at me sideways. You can get your friends.
I pour the rest of the marinade on top just so that it can caramelize, get all the flavor that it can, because we need that when you're cooking. It better have some flavor. This is where the situation escalated. I don't know if my rice was too warm, my seaweed was still out, y'all. I promise I could. Y'all just saw me do the lasagna roll-ups. I promise I could roll it up. I did a little musubi maker, how I used to do in middle school. It was not working. Tried to mold it with my hands, not working. At this point, I'm tired, I'm hungry. I said, as long as the 3 things go together, they're gonna be okay.
Like that, she not one for drama. Yeah, big smile, get it from mama. Hey, please, that's your shoes for you get my heart. Looking like, look like art. Look like art.
All the extra rice on the board got me so weak. But I ended up making a little sauce to go over it. It was still busting though. For my final meal, I made an easy curry. First, I just roughly chop up some onions and, smash a little garlic up in there and add that to the food processor as well. This is like my favorite way to make the base of my curries now. Like almost pureeing the onions and the garlic. It really do something to me. It really do something to me.
Just know she had coffee with me. Yeah.
Then I add the onions and garlic to a hot pan with some seasoned butter. I should make a video on the seasoned butter, like an Ethiopian video. Then I add some chopped tomatoes and a bunch of curry powder and just stir that together until it's well combined and starts to get heated through. This smells so good. It smells so good. It smells so good. After it's been cooking for a bit, I add in the chickpeas and mix those around to make sure they're covered with the seasoning. You need all that seasoning. You see how they change colors like that? If it don't change colors, we don't want it. Then I add a little bit of veggie broth just so that the seasoning is like not stuck to the pan. Deglazing the pan, that's the official term for it. After I do this, I put a lid on it and let it simmer for a while just so that it's not super liquidy.
That's your shoes for you get my heart. Looking like, look like art. Hot hills, look like art. 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 Looking like blessings, blessings, blessings coming my way. Wake up every morning like it's Friday. No, don't be looking at me sideways. You can get your friends.